You've heard the word 1,000 times. Inflation. It's a term that pops up in conversations, headlines, and debates. But what does it really mean for you and your daily life? It's everywhere. On the news, in politics, at the dinner table. Whether you're chatting with friends or listening to politicians argue, inflation is always part of the discussion. But what does it actually mean? Simply put, inflation is the rate at which prices for goods and services rise, and your money's value falls. In other words, as inflation goes up, each euro in your pocket buys a little bit less than it did before. Imagine your money as air in a tire. Over time, inflation is the slow leak that makes your cash buy less. It's not always dramatic, but it's persistent, quietly reducing your purchasing power. That 10 euros in your wallet today? It'll buy you a little less tomorrow. Maybe your favorite snack costs a few cents more, or your morning coffee is just a bit pricier. A small amount of inflation is actually healthy. Central banks like the European Central Bank aim for about 2%. This target helps keep the economy growing at a steady pace, avoiding both stagnation and runaway prices. Why? Because it encourages spending and investment, keeping the economy moving. When people expect prices to rise slowly, they're more likely to buy now rather than later, which helps businesses and creates jobs. But when inflation rises too quickly, it's a warning sign. Rapid inflation can make it hard to plan for the future, and it can create uncertainty for families and businesses alike. It quietly erodes your financial well-being. Your bread, coffee, rent, and bills all inch up. Even small increases, when they happen across everything you buy, can have a big impact over time. These small increases add up, squeezing your budget and acting as a silent tax on your savings. The money you've set aside loses value, making it harder to reach your financial goals. Inflation is about more than just prices. It's about the health of your finances and the economy. It affects your ability to save, invest, and plan for the future. Too little inflation can mean a stagnant economy. Too much can hurt everyone, especially the most vulnerable. People on fixed incomes, like pensioners, feel the pinch the most when prices rise faster than their income. That's why economists watch that single percentage so closely. It's not just a statistic. It's a signal that guides decisions for governments, businesses, and families. It's a vital sign for the economy, signaling stability or turbulence ahead. Like a doctor checking your pulse, economists use inflation to gauge the economy's health. Understanding inflation is the first step to understanding the forces shaping your life. It helps you make smarter choices about spending, saving, and investing. It's a delicate balance, one that affects every euro you spend. Whether you're buying groceries, paying rent, or planning a holiday, inflation is always in the background. So next time you hear about inflation, remember, it's not just a number, it's your everyday reality. It shapes what you can afford and how far your money goes. And it's worth paying attention to, because understanding inflation means understanding the world around you and how to navigate it. Let's get to the heart of the matter. The latest numbers are in, and they're sparking conversations across Germany and beyond. Every month, analysts and citizens alike wait for these figures, knowing they can shape everything from household budgets to government policy. On December 12, 2025, Germany's Federal Statistics Office, Destatis, confirmed November's annual inflation rate at 2.6%. This announcement came after days of speculation and anticipation in financial circles. That might not sound dramatic at first glance, but context is everything. For millions of Germans, these numbers are more than just statistics. They're a reflection of daily life and growing anxieties. It's up from 2.3% in October, a noticeable jump in just 1 month. This kind of increase, though seemingly small, can have a real impact on consumer confidence and spending habits. While it's not runaway inflation, it's enough to make economists and policymakers pay close attention. They're now debating whether this is a temporary blip or the start of a longer trend. This uptick signals that price pressures in Germany are becoming more pronounced. Everyday essentials, food, energy, transportation, are all feeling the squeeze. The data backs up what many already feel. The weekly shop and filling up the car are getting pricier. For families and small businesses, these changes are impossible to ignore. This isn't just a feeling. It's now a fact, confirmed by official data. The numbers are clear, and they're starting to shape the national conversation.
Why does this matter? Because inflation touches every corner of society, from the cost of bread to the price of a train ticket. Germany is the Eurozone's economic engine, powering industries and jobs across the continent. When Germany's economy shifts, the effects are felt far beyond its borders. What happens here ripples across Europe, influencing trade, investment, and even the value of the euro itself. A rising inflation rate in Germany can influence the European Central Bank's decisions for the entire currency bloc. Interest rates, lending, and economic forecasts all hang in the balance. So, this small uptick is more than a domestic issue. It's a key piece of Europe's economic puzzle. Each percentage point can shift strategies and expectations across the continent. Policymakers from Frankfurt to Paris to Rome are watching closely, weighing their next moves and preparing for possible changes in economic policy. The stage is set for big decisions in the months ahead, as Europe's leaders grapple with the challenges and opportunities that come with Germany's November surprise.
So, what does that 2.6% really mean? It's not just a random number or a guess, it's a carefully calculated figure, determined using the Harmonized Index of Consumer Prices, or HICP. This is the gold standard for measuring inflation across Europe. The HICP is an EU-wide method designed to ensure that inflation is measured in the same way in every member country. This consistency allows for fair and accurate comparisons between nations, so we know if prices are rising faster in Germany or, say, in France or Italy. Imagine a giant shopping basket, but not just any basket, one that's filled with everything an average household in Germany might buy. This includes food, fuel, clothing, rent, services, electronics, and much more. It's a snapshot of real-life spending. Every month, teams of statisticians fan out across Germany, visiting supermarkets, gas stations, and service providers. They record the prices of hundreds of everyday items, then compare the total cost of this basket to what it cost a year ago. The percentage change in the cost of this basket over 12 months is what we call the annual inflation rate. It's a direct measure of how much more, or less, expensive life has become.
The HICP isn't just a statistic, it's the key metric used by the European Central Bank and policymakers to make crucial decisions about interest rates and economic policy across the continent. While Germany also calculates its own National Consumer Price Index, or CPI, for EU policy and international comparisons, the HICP is what really matters. The contents of the basket aren't set in stone. They're updated regularly to reflect how people's habits change over time. Think more electric cars and streaming services, and fewer DVDs or old-fashioned products. So, when you hear that 2.6% figure, remember, it's a real-world snapshot of what life actually costs today for families and individuals across Germany. It's not just an abstract number, it's a reflection of your everyday spending, carefully measured and tracked to help everyone understand how prices are changing.
Why did inflation tick up in November? It's a mix of factors.
Energy is a big driver. Oil and gas prices impact everything from heating to transport. Even small changes ripple through the economy.
Food prices are up too, thanks to supply chain issues, higher transport costs, and unpredictable weather.
And don't forget services. Rising wages in a tight labor market mean higher prices for everything from haircuts to hotel stays. It's this combination, energy, food, and services, that's pushing inflation higher. Each factor alone might not be dramatic, but together, they add up. That's why your bills and groceries are costing more. And it's why November's number matters.
For most people, inflation isn't just a statistic. It's felt every day.
A 2.6% inflation rate means your money buys less, whether it's groceries, fuel, or bills. That €100 for groceries last year? Now it gets you less.
Small price increases add up, especially for those on fixed incomes.
Savers feel the pinch too. If your savings earn less than inflation, you're losing value. It forces people to take more risks or watch their nest egg shrink.
Rising prices create uncertainty. Families delay big purchases. Businesses hold off on investments.
Inflation shapes every financial decision, from shopping to saving. It's not just about higher prices. It's about how we all adapt. The impact is real, and it's everywhere. That's why inflation matters to everyone. It's the silent force shaping our daily lives.
To understand today's inflation, look at the recent past. Just a couple of years ago, inflation in Germany soared above 10%. driven by the pandemic and the energy crisis from the war in Ukraine.
Those double-digit rates caused a cost of living crisis and forced the European Central Bank to hike interest rates aggressively.
By 2024, inflation steadily declined, a process called disinflation.
The current rates, 2.3% in October, 2.6% in November, are much closer to the ECB's 2% target.
But the last stretch is always the hardest. Economists call it the last mile problem.
The recent uptick could be a bump in the road, reminding us the fight against inflation isn't over.
The journey isn't a straight line. Volatility is normal. Staying vigilant is key. The story of inflation is still being written. Experts are weighing in on the 2.6% figure.
Most economists are cautious, not alarmed. Strong labor markets and rising wages could keep inflation elevated.
The government will stress stability, but knows rising costs bring political pressure.
For the European Central Bank, this uptick strengthens the case for keeping interest rates high a bit longer.
Some argue it's just a blip, others see persistent pressures.
The debate is on, hawkish or dovish. The ECB's next move matters for everyone. What's next for German inflation? Most economists expect it to stay sticky for a while. No crisis, but no quick return to 2% either.
Watch energy prices. Winter could bring surprises.
Wage negotiations in early 2026 could push services inflation higher.
The ECB will keep a close eye on the data, likely holding rates high if inflation persists.
For consumers, that means higher prices and borrowing costs won't disappear overnight.
The worst may be over, but the path to stability is bumpy. The next few months are about finding a new balance. Stay tuned, every number counts. So what's the takeaway? Germany's inflation rise is more than a statistic. It's a signal for Europe's economy.
The fight against high living costs isn't over. Inflation affects your earnings, savings, and what you pay for everything.
At 2.6%, you need to be more mindful with your money and plans.
Watch energy prices, wage deals, and the ECB's decisions. They'll shape the months ahead.
Every shift in prices or policy ripples through your wallet. The latest figure isn't cause for panic, but it's a call to pay attention. In economics, stability is a balancing act. Even small numbers matter, because they shape your everyday life.